Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhakti Bhakti Naistiki
Bhakti Uttama Shloke
After
Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki.
So, before presenting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of our conquest, I offer my respectful obeisances to Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to Narayan Rishi, the more perfect human beings, to Sarasvati, our mother, the goddess of knowledge, and to Sarasvati and to Vyasadeva, which is the author. By regularly listening to the Srimad Bhagavatam, as well as by rendering faithful service to the spiritual master, all that which is inauspicious in the heart of the Bhakta becomes practically nil, and pure devotional service rendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes an irrevocable fact.
Ces versets sont dans quel chapitre du premier chant?
On les trouve ces choses.
1, 2 et quelque chose. Thank you.
So we speak in English or en français? We shall speak in English or in French?
Please.
Huh?
Yes, please, Prabhu.
In English?
Please.
Oh, don't worry. Okay. So tout le monde parle français. Everybody speaks English here?
Non.
Toi, tu parles pas?
Maïs doesn't speak English.
Il est où, Maïs? Ben, je sais pas.
Maybe it's some translation.
Hein? Tu veux traduire?
I cannot make traduction simultaneously.
Ah oui.
So, I don't know if someone can, but yeah, I cannot do it. I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. I'm just saying that it doesn't speak.
Comment on fait alors? Tu veux traduire pour lui? No, because there's one boy, when they were here, he doesn't speak English.
You translate for us?
Yeah. So can I have the book in English then? Please. Hein? C'est en français.
Thank you.
You're here for some time? You're here for some time?
Yeah, at least a couple of months.
Thank you. The books, the books, the books. So today we are reading about the meeting between Nanda Maharaj, which is the father of Krishna, adopting father of Krishna, and Vasudeva, which is the father of Krishna. So verse 11 today, right?
Yes.
Alors, I will try. Gopya sumristamani kundala niska kantyas Chitrambara patishika chuta malya varsha Nandalayam savalaya vrajatid virejur Vyaloka kundala prayodara hara shobham Gopya sumristamani kundala niskakanyasi Chitrambara patisukha chutamalya vara varsha Nandalayam savalaya vrajitid virejur Excuse me. Vyalola kundala payodara hara shobha sumrista manikundala niskakantyas Chitrambara patishika chutamalya varsha Nandalayam savalaya vrajatir virejur Vyaloka kundala payudara harashobha Gopya sumrista manikundala niskakantyas Chitrambara patishika chutamalya varsha Nandalayam savalaya vajjatir virejur Tyalola kundala payudara hara shobha À vous. Gopya samshyamani kundala nishka kantyas Nandalayam savalaya vrajatir virejur Yalola kundala prayudara hara shobha
Gopyaha sumrishta mani kundala nishka kantayas
Gopya sumrista manikundala nishka kantyas
Chitram brahapati shikachutya malya vasaha
Chitrambara patishika chutamalya varsha
Nandalayam savalaya vrajati virejur
Nandalayam savalaya vrajatir virejur
Vyalola kundala payodara hara shobha
Vyalola kundala payudara hara shobha
Gopya sumrista manikundala niskakantyas
Chitrambara patishika chutamalya varsha Nandalayam savalaya vrajatir virejur Vyalola kundala payudara hara shobha Mataji? Finish? Okay. Gopya, the gopis, sumrista, very dazzling, mani, made of jewels, kundala, wearing earrings, niskakantya, and having little keys and lockets hanging from their necks. Chitra Ambara, dressed with varieties of colored embroidery. Pati, on their way to Yasoda Mai's house. Shikachyuta fell from their hair. Malya Varsha, a shower of flower garlands. Nanda Alayam, to the house of Maharaj Nanda. Savalaya, with bangles on their hands. Vrajati, while going in that costume. Viraju, they look very, very beautiful. Vyalola, moving. Kundala, with earrings. Payodara, with breasts, Hara, with flower garlands, Shobha, who appeared so beautiful. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. In the ears of the gopis were brilliantly polished jeweled earrings, and from their neck hung metal lockets. Their hands were decorated with bangles, their dresses were of varied colors, and from their hair flowers fell onto the street like showers. Thus, while going to the house of Maharaj Nanda, the gopis, their earrings, breasts, and garlands moving, were brilliantly beautiful. You can repeat after me if you want. In the ears of the gopis were brilliantly polished jeweled earrings, and from their necks hung metal lockets. Their hands were decorated with bangles. Their dresses were of varied colors, and from their hair flowers fell onto the street like flowers, like showers. Thus, while going to the house of Maharaj Nanda, the gopis, their earrings, breasts, and garlands moving, were brilliantly beautiful. On dirait que personne ne lit au tableau. C'est écrit trop petit, non? Je sais pas. Anyway, so purport by Srila Prabhupada. The description of the gopis who were going to the house of Maharaj Nanda to welcome Krishna is especially significant. The gopis were not ordinary women, but expansions of Krishna's pleasure potency, as described in the Brahma Samhita. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavita Bis Tabhira Eva Nijayuntaranandamani Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhutto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Chintamani Prakarasamma Shukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vriteshu Surabi Abhibalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Satasambhrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Krishna is always worshipped by the gopis wherever he goes. Therefore, Krishna is so vividly described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also described Krishna in this way. Ramya Kaschid Upasana Vrajavadha Vargena Yakalpita. All the gopis were going to offer Krishna their presentations because the gopis are all eternal associates of the Lord. Now the gopis, who were more brilliant, jubilant because of the news of Krishna's appearance in Vrindavan. Oma Gyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksurim Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the most darkness of ignorance, but with the transcendental torchlights of knowledge, my spiritual master has opened my darkened eyes, offering my respectful obeisances. Yeah, so Krishna. This looks like a quite a common description with the beautiful ladies with the breast moving, garlands, and it is quite natural scene. We can see this also in this world. People doing festivals, with so much fast and so much So, what is the difference? You know, this is supposed to be spiritual. These gopis, they are emanations from pleasure of potency of Krishna. It looks the same because, physically speaking, that which is material exists. We have physical bodies, and spiritually speaking, physical also is a form, as a form. You know, it's not that because that which is material has a form, that which is spiritual has no form. It's a false conception. Actually, this world is a perverted reflection of the reality, the real world which is the kingdom of God, and this is related with the kingdom of God, indeed, in Vrindavan. And you know, everybody knows from Bhagavad Gita the example of the tree which is on the side of the river. He has the head, the top of it is down, and the roots are up. And similarly, this world is simply perverted reflection of the spiritual world. This is not reality real in the sense that the example is given. For example, if you have a mirror, a very nice prasadam, big prasadam, you know, nice feast like we had yesterday or Sunday or more, you know, you have nice samosas, wonderful fruits, and pakoras, and whatever, sabji, paneer, what more. Very good. And you see this in the reflections on the mirror. So you want to grab a fruit, but you will hurt your hand, you know. If you want to eat something, you have to turn your back and to go to the actual object, real object, not the reflection. So that's what we are doing here. We are trying to enjoy something, but we hurt ourselves because the object itself is not there. The real thing is just you have to look back on your back, and you get the fruits and everything. So this is what happened in this world. We think it's a reality. It's not false. It's real, but it's temporary. But it is not a place of enjoyment. Actually, it's not the real place of enjoyment. It's not our place actually. You know, they say back to Godhead. Yes, with this system, you know that this is perfected. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? It is perfected. Perverted reflection of the real things. The example is given, Prabhupada gave this example, I have it on my mobile, no problem. And if someone grab you by the foot, and with a rope it lifts you. So you will have the head down and the foot up. That's our condition in this world. Is it very comfortable? Not at all, you know, because it is not our natural condition. We are not meant to have the head down and the foot up. We are meant to have the foot on the ground. There is so many examples also of the fish, you know, in the water. No matter how much you take a fish out of the water, no matter how much facility you give him, you know, cigar, and nice seat, and Rolls Royce, and nice tie, but the fish will not be happy. Will not be happy. If you want to make this fish happy, what do? You put him back in the water. So that's the same logic, same thing. We are living in this world, but and practically nobody is aware of this reality of the nature, the temporary nature of the suffering nature of this. The backdrop of this world is suffering ultimately, you know. And this movement for Krishna consciousness is trying to bring back people to their senses, that they may understand who they are, what is this? What is the nature, the real nature of this world? People want to simply exploit, enjoy, be merry, and exploit the material nature, thinking that this is the only reality, but it's not. True spiritualist, true spiritual master will tell you about there is another world, which is called the spiritual world, which is the origin of everything, where the parameters are totally different. Here we are in a place which is called Asat, Ashit, Nirananda. Mean Asat means?
False.
Huh?
False.
False? Huh?
Non-eternal.
Oh, so Asat, non-permanent. Ashit, Nirananda, full of for ignorance, temporary, and place of suffering. And spiritual world is Sat, Chit, Ananda, full of bliss, eternal, and full of knowledge. Yeah. So this is reality is what we have to accept. Actually, although we cannot see the spiritual world, but we can Prabhupada has made it quite simple, like us, and also Shukadev Goswami, because Shuka means parrot. Yes, parrot. Very sweet animal, very funny. Green leaf, green feather. So, as you know, the feather, the peacock, when it touches a mango, soon it will be mango season in India, not now, maybe 2 months later. And when they touch the mango, it makes it more sweet. So Shukadev Goswami, which has recited this Srimad Bhagavatam, is the pirate of Srimati Radharani. Pirates are very special. They are also, we say, spies. They go in the grooves of Vrindavan, knowing what is going on with Chandravali and what is this and what is that, where is Krishna. They are very cunning and cute personalities. And how he played his role as making sweeter the mango. If Bhagavatam can be compared to mango, he has made it sweeter because he had made it available to everybody. Bhagavatam was very, very, let's say, can be very unfathomable writings, but by the mercy of Shukadev Goswami, everybody can taste the sweetness of Srimad Bhagavatam. And so this place, actually once there was this, I repeat myself, I'm sorry, for those who were there before. So actually once there was this journalist who were asking to Prabhupada, what is your movement? Where does it start? Where does it come from? And what is Krishna consciousness? And Prabhupada answered, Krishna consciousness starts when you question yourself. Why do I suffer? And there's this Vaishnava Sanatana Goswami, if you've read Chaitanya Charitamrita, after having escaped from jail, he was a finance minister of Nawab Hussain Shah. And he has been put in a very managerial, ministerial position due to his great scholarship and great qualities he had. But the king was about to conquer Jagannath Puri at that time. He was a Muslim. Actually, both of them, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, have been employed in the government of the Muslim king, Nawab Hussain Shah, by force. And by force, because they were supposed to, they were asked to engage in the service of the government, or their family would have been destroyed. Something, they didn't have much choice, and they have been converted in Islam. Nabil Kash and Sakir Malik, I guess. They became Muslim by force, and that's what also happened. At that time also the Hindu society was so rigid, so strict, that if you received some water from a pot of a Muslim, you were ostracized from the Hindu society. And that way so many people by force were taken away from Hinduism and converted into Islam. They won't be able to control the Muslim either, the Hindus rulers. So there's a big loss like this, you know. There's one story like this. I can't tell you. It will. Maybe the scholars or those who are, let's say, well versed in the stories. I think it was Nawab Hussain Saha. He had been raised by one Hindu king, and his wife, he was without kurta, you know. One day she saw her back. Maybe you remember the name of the person I'm talking about. No. Anyway, if you too, yeah. And she saw there were some scars on his back, you know. And looking at that, she asked him, "What is this? What do you have in the back? Where do these scars come from?" And the king said, Nawab says, "This is when I was a child. I was very, very naughty boy, and sometimes the king had to whip me, you know. And these are the scars coming from this whip, you know." And then the queen, she said, "Okay, that's what you're saying. So did I marry a king or did I marry a slave? You know, this is the symptoms of a slave, someone which is beaten by the master like this. I cannot tolerate to be the wife of such a low class or untouchable person, you know. And I will not tolerate to exist or to continue to be your queen unless this king is destroyed. You know. The one who did that to you is destroyed." But Hussain Saha, if I'm not make mistake in the names, you know, he said, "But yes, you know, he was very severe with me, but I was very, very naughty boy, you know. I was terrible, and what he did, it was righteous. It was not something out of the frame, you know. I deserved it." But the queen, she was totally adamant. She said, "No, I don't want to exist as your wife as long as you don't kill this person." So Hussain Saha, he was thinking that actually I will do, I will throw water from my pot, and that way he will be considered as dead because he will be ostracized of the Hindu society, and that way he will be dead without dying, you know. So indeed, the Nawab, he threw water to the, what's his name? Huh? Anyway, to the king, who has been ostracized from the Hindu society, like that. Then he went to see a Brahmin, and he asked him, the Brahmin, "Well, now you see what I've been converted by this water. How can I recover my position as a Hindu ruler?" And so the Brahman, he consulted the scriptures, and he said, "Oh, it's very easy, no problem. You have to swallow 1 liter of boiling ghee, and from that you will be, your condition will be removed." Imagine what this means, 1 liter of boiling ghee. If you have to swallow that, what will happen to you? You will die immediately. So there was no hope, you know. He was ostracized from his society, and the only death. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and told him, "No, you don't need to do that. You just go to Vrindavan and you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare." So it's better for us because if we had to always to follow the rules or the injunction of the scriptures, we would be finished. So yes, this body actually is indeed so what was saying Sanatana Goswami we were talking about when he escaped from the government of Nawab Upsem Saha, he went through the forest to a place to a hotel. He was with one of his nephew. If you know the story already, he was with his nephew Sanatana Goswami when he escaped by trickeries, he could influence the prison guard, and so he escaped and he arrived to a hotel where what is this Bengali saying? There is one Bengali who says Oti Bhakti Chure Lokhan. Bhakti means devotion. Oti,
high.
Very high. Chur, one means makan chur.
Thief.
And Lokhan means symptom. So too much devotion is a symptom of a thief. When someone is like honey with you, oh my dear friend, you are so good, so much praise. And so Sanatana Goswami, who was very intelligent, he was a politician actually, so he knew the tricks, So he was realizing why this hotel keeper is so mellow, so like honey to me, that's not normal, And he was thinking, maybe he knows something about us. So he asked to his nephew, did you bring money with you? Gold with you? He asked his nephew. And the nephew, he admitted, yes, I'm coming with 7 golden coins. Then what did Sanatana Goswami? He said, why did you bring death with you? You brought death with you. So Sanatana Goswami immediately he went to the hotel keeper and told him, actually I have 7 gold coins with me and I want to give them to you. And what happened that the hotel keeper he fell at the feet of Sanatana Goswami. He said, you saved me from killing, of offending a saintly person like yourself. Because I have an astrologer who has predicted to me, according to the astrology, that someone would come with 7 coins, and I was about to kill you, to take this money from you. But by your giving this coin to me, you saved me from being a murderer of a great soul, So so Sanatana Goswami gave those coins to the hotel keeper, and he asked his nephew, you have some more with you? He had 1 more coin. And he told him to go back, to return. And he went alone to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the descendants of this hotel keeper, what they do, what is their activity, what is their job, let's say?
They are giving, you told this story. They're giving poison drink. People fell asleep and they just take it out.
Yeah. Actually, it's Mahavishnu Swami who went to this place where Sanatana Goswami, on his way to Kashi, Benares, wait in this hotel. There is one. For example, I've been traveling in Bangladesh, and everywhere you see in the boats, in the trains, it's written Oporischito loker dewa kichu kabenna. Oporischito means, maybe you know.
Chito is the heart, right?
Aporischito means unknown. Aporischito loker. The unknown people, they were from Aporischito loker, they were Kichu Kaben Na.
They didn't know.
No, Kai.
Oh, hi.
You don't eat something which is given to you by an unknown person. Yeah. I saw him personally, in the boats, Aporischito loker, they were Kichu Kaben Na, in many places. Because what are these people doing? They would give you some food like dab. Everybody knows about dab, and they would have injected some sleeping pills inside, with a syringe. And you would fall asleep, and when you woke up, nothing left. No passport, no nothing. So that's what the descendants of this hotel keeper who had hosted Sanatana Goswami are doing. They are still... Huh?
Situated in Bihar?
Je sais pas, c'est between, maybe, I don't know exactly.
Because people from Bihar are very known in India for being plundering. They plunder trains even.
Yeah. That's actually, Mahavishnu Swami told me this story. He has been, he's a very funny person, very good. He used to go many places, He used to take bath. He's very fond of water. Wherever you go, you know him?
That's why he loves East Africa.
Yeah.
The Indian Ocean is just there, and he always likes to go to the sea.
But because also one thing, he has the same symptom as myself, that he has lost his smelling power. I remember once we were in, I don't know, it's in Uganda or in Kenya, maybe somewhere, and he went to bath, but where all the refuse from the city were going, he didn't realize where he was swimming.
Mahavishnu Maharaj, yeah.
He's very nice.
Very nice to know.
Yeah. And he's touring like anything all around the world.
Yeah.
Parivraja Kachadya with his team. He was there last Anatayatra, maybe he'll come this year again. I've been traveling with him for 4 months in Africa. In Kenya. Kenya. You've been to Kenya? Oh, you are from Kenya?
I'm from Tanzania, next country.
Tanzania, yeah. Where there is the famous Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
Who has seen the Kilimanjaro? You've seen it. You? Oh, you are from Africa?
No, I've been to the top.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You are a mountain climber?
I tried to be in those times. I did it for charity, actually.
Charity. Or if you succeed, you will get some... Me, I've seen Kilimanjaro, it was very clear, but suddenly there is so many clouds, and it was completely covered. And it disappeared from my eyesight.
It's very, it's completely isolated. It's
in middle of the nowhere. No other mountain.
Yeah.
It's quite high, maybe 5,000, no?
It's the highest mountain in Africa.
Yeah, it's more. Yes, I've seen it. So.
Very high.
Yes.
This is the national park and the crater.
Higher than all of the Alps, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Alps is 4,800? We have a Swiss boy here, he knows about Alps. Hungary, how high are the mountains in Switzerland? Les montagnes en Suisse, c'est à combien de mètres? 4,800, non? The highest mountain.
It's higher than Mont Blanc.
Huh? Yeah. And this we are talking about one mountain in Africa, Kilimanjaro, which is in Tanzania country. He climbed on top of it, and I've seen it, it's higher than the
It's higher than Mont Blanc.
higher mountain. Yeah. This material world is attractive. It's an amazing place, actually. Place of suffering. So, our Sanatana Goswami was on his way to Kashi, and when he arrived, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at that time was living with two devotees. You know their name?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Yeah. He was living in the house of Chandrasekhar and Acharya and Tapan Mishra, were from Bengal actually. And these two people, I'm sure, were considered as Kanista liquors. Imagine Lord Mahaprabhu himself was living in the house of two Kanista liquors. So sometimes which always a Kanista, you know. So why they were considered as Kanista liquors? What you say, no? Why they were considered? Because at that time there was the head of the Mayavad sannyasi whose name is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And all his associates, there was blaspheming Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But this Tapan Mishra and Chandrasekhar, they didn't have any argument to cut their tongue, to defeat their arguments. So, and they were to the point of giving up their bodies. They were so horrified with the blasphemies, you know, which was perpetrated to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but they couldn't say anything. They didn't have any philosophical point or any argument. So in that sense, they are considered as Kanista liquors. So you know who they were? Sanatana, Gadadhar Chandrasekhar Acharya and Tapan Mishra. So
yeah, you have to say also that when you have numerous people against you, it's not a good thing to be at war with them. It can be dangerous. At this time, they were killing people where you were Shivite against Vaishnava and Mayavadi against Vaishnava. There was some killing going on. You see with Ramanuj, the story of Ramanujacharya. Some friends they were killed by Shivaist and Mayavadi kings. It was if you start to preach where everybody is against your philosophy, I don't know if be it Kanista or no thing, you want to save your life.
Yeah. Yes, even Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was chaste, and one of his disciples he had to
change clothes with him. Change clothes with him,
and he could disappear. Yeah. And sometimes in arguments, people could not really oppose the arguments of Mayavadis, and they had simply to pray to the deities, do something, you know, because.
Also, we have to say that Tapan Mishra was ordered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to settle in Varanasi.
Yeah.
Because he had some plan to convert some Mayavadi and have a place where to stay.
Yeah.
So he was, well, if you are ordered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you're not so much a Kanista.
Yeah. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then he went to see this Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya? No. Prakashananda Saraswati. And he went to sit in the place where people put their shoes, you know. Imagine? Where we put our shoes. He was sitting there, you know. But he manifested the Brahman, impersonal Brahman, full of effulgence.
Prabhu.
Yeah, and then the Mayavadi were very astonished and impressed, you know, and they took him by the hand, and he converted them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not like converting people one by one, you know. He was always going to the top, like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He was actually his incarnation of Brihaspati, I guess.
Head priest.
Yeah. In Navadvip. Actually, he had studied that's corroborative. He had studied he was a leader of the many people, and he had he wanted to study Nyaya philosophy, you know, logic. But at that time, the Brahmins, they were so strict, you know. They said to him, you should not this logic philosophy should not go beyond the walls of our institution. So he was not allowed to. So what did to take books outside the compound of the Mayavadis. And so what he did, he memorized every books of this Nyaya thing. And he preached about this knowledge. And he was about to be killed also. They wanted to kill him. You know. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always very expert to convert, to influence people of a high level, so everybody becomes. So it does not change people one after. He can change the hearts of. He changed many people by speaking also to Digvijayi. You know Digvijayi? He's a scholar. At that time, people were doing contest of scholarship. And Digvijayi was boasting on a big elephant, you know. He had conquered in every directions the philosophers, so much so that when he came to Navadvip, all the scholars had run away, you know. They didn't want to be confronted to him. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was at that time was a student, you know. He had to have a debate with him. And what is this famous verse? That even people which are realized worship the even realized souls. It's a very famous verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. With that, they were discussing about this verse. Anyway, that's not exactly this thing. But so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we asked him, so you are such a great soul, please make a poem on the glories of the Ganges. And so he tried, at the speed of the wind, they say, he wrote 100 verses glorifying the Ganges. But at one point, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, so what do you think of my presentation? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, it's not bad, but here there is faults in such and such verse. And Digvijayi realized, you know, it must be God, you know, because how can he just pinpoint, you know, such a, you know, very, so on one verse, on some grammatical flowy verse, you know, how can he do that, you know?
I read there were 6 different errors in the entire.
Yeah.
There was one big error and then 4 or 5 small errors.
Yeah.
Something like that I heard.
So then he was completely defeated and devastated, you know. And in the night, I think Goddess Sarasvati is a master. He said, how come why do you allow me to be defeated by this small boy? You know? How can you do that? And then Sarasvati, she said, but this boy is my husband. You know, he's the supreme Lord, you know. So Digvijayi surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So soon he's going to be the Gopur in 25, no? 25th. So we just try to prepare ourselves now.
It's on 24th.
24.
Yeah, Gaurpurnima.
Yeah. Anyway, I've said a few words. From do you have something to add to this? So.
Yeah. One thing is, I was watching a series of events about the Mahabharata, and one event, Krishna Govind was speaking why he arranged the battle of Kurukshetra. Why is it that there were so many demonic things, but also his will was to destroy the Vedic system because it had become polluted by rigidity in tradition and in promises, or people who would speak and it will be the truth. You could not come back. And after some time, when you do many promises, it becomes opposite to what is real justice and real religion. You have this famous example of Bhishmadev. He put his own woe in front of everything, but at the end he finished by defending Duryodhana and his team against Krishna. Also, same with Yudhishthira. He had this, what he would say is promises, and he induced many problems also. And we have this event in the Kurukshetra battle, and he didn't want to lie about this elephant or Ashwatthama. So Krishna made it lie, drawing a conch at the same time where Ashwatthama was pronounced. Elephant was pronounced. And like that, Duryodhana could, Dronacharya could be killed. This is another example. There's many other examples where the tradition, the rigidity of the Hindu system with our nowadays rules made it against what the spirit of religion. So that's why he destroyed. Krishna had this plan of destroying the Vedic system that was prominent from millions of years more. So in the film he said, I will advocate a new system of religion. So what we see is happening, it's happening now with the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is trying to induce people in receiving Krishna in their heart, in spite of so many rules and principles. We see that just 500 years ago, it was so rigid. The system of the caste, if you step on the shadow of a Brahmin, you were a Shudra, you were chastised. Yeah. That's why many people, they rejected Hindu religion and they became Muslim, because it was more practical for them, economically, and because they were so heavily taxed by the system of Smata Brahman.
But the Hindu society now is also still very rigid. You can see, for example...
But if you compare 5,000 years ago or 500 years ago, there's quite a lot of...
I can see, for example, in Bangladesh, the Hindu society is much more strict than the Muslim society. For example, once a girl marries one man, if the man dies, she's not supposed to get married again, even if her husband died at the age of 20 or 22. But in Muslim society, you can divorce, for example. It's allowed, you know. So the Hindu society is more strict. And even in India, you can see, I know one musician lady, she was raised in a very, very, very strict way. This is, you know, they are, I know, and I remember one devotee, he had, even in Dhaka, you know, in Bangladesh, he had been caught having some affairs with a married lady. And practically speaking, the devotee, they beat him to death, almost, you know. It's not...
Yeah, not even so long ago, the people who killed their daughters in the womb of the woman.
That's
because she was a girl.
All around the world.
They wanted a boy so much in the tradition of getting a boy. Yeah.
But now there is no more girls.
So now in India they are lacking girls for progeny.
But there is, imagine,
You see how it becomes twisted and crazy and against the normal tenets of religion.
I'll tell you one thing. In the police, les commissariats de police, on parle en français un peu, non? Tout le monde parle.
Yeah.
In the police house, you know, where there is one picture of one lady. She was a queen, actually. And they put this in the police stations, you know, police station. This queen lady, she had a grandson who had molested, or he had tried to have affair with force to one girl, a woman, a girl. You know what the grandmother did? She had her grandson be crushed under the feet of elephant. You know, how illicit sex is very, very punished. And her picture is in the police stations. Because her grandson, he had violé, je sais pas comment on dit, he had raped one lady, you know. The grandmother, she said, this is not, I cannot accept this. She had her grandson crushed under the feet of elephants.
In which country?
In India. And her picture is in the police stations. Like a good example. Anyway, now we are going to, the society is going to totally on another way, another direction. Anyway, thank you very much.
The film realizer, he makes, Govinda speaks that the fundamental of justice is compassion.
Yeah, that's we.
I was reflecting on it, but also compassion. Sometimes justice, you have to be strong.
Yeah, but sometimes compassion is considered as cruelty, and cruelty is considered as compassion. Yeah. Like
compassion can be considered as weakness.
Yeah.
Can be within the society.
It can be, yeah.
We have a society which is very compassionate with delinquents.
Oh yeah.
Delinquent.
But now we become so compassionate that men become like women. You know.
Like that, and they're not put in jail because they were unhappy when they were kids. They got always something which means that.
Tu parles en français. Hein?
Il y a toujours quelque chose qui fait qu'on les considère comme pas tout à fait responsables de ça. Par compassion.
Et par compassion, par exemple, bon, on peut en reparler. Hein.
Et ça donne une société qui dérape complètement.
Ouais. Il y a une fois comme ça, Srila Prabhupada qui châtiait un de ses disciples public, et il y avait une dame qui est là. Oh, I thought you were a spiritualist. You should show compassion. How can you speak so harsh to your disciple? Prabhupada, he says, you remember someone, you know, which is, he has a furoncle, quelqu'un qui a un furoncle, you know, and you blow on the furoncle. But when in this condition, you don't blow on you take a knife and you pierce the furoncle. So on the spot it will be harsh, but then it will be cured. But this blowing business will not bring any true healing, you know.
Yes, tu peux parler français.
Oui, t'as compris, non? J'ai été dit. So that which looks like compassion, sometimes is just cruelty. Like with death sentence before, you know, death sentence. La peine de mort, par exemple, elle a été abolie sous prétexte de compassion, mais on sait que si une personne est punie de la peine de mort pour un crime, avoir tué, eh bien, il est affranchi de son péché. Dans la vie suivante, il peut avoir une vie normale. Mais s'il n'a pas été affranchi, il va avoir une vie très misérable. Alors les gens croient agir par compassion, mais en fait, ils entérinent la souffrance du criminel, au lieu de la minimiser. Ce qui semble de la compassion, en fait, c'est de la cruauté, en fait. Et ce qui semble de la cruauté, c'est de la vraie compassion, en fait. T'es pas content.
Pas jusque-là, quoi. La cruauté, c'est de la compassion.
Non, non, je ne dis pas que la cruauté de la compassion et la compassion de la cruauté, mais prendre des fois des actes qui semblent être cruels, mais qui sont des actes de vraie compassion. Tu vois. Par exemple, la peine de mort peut paraître un acte très cruel, mais le fait de mettre une personne qui a fait un péché mortel, un péché, très grand péché, de le condamner à mort, ça a pour effet d'annihiler les conséquences de ses actes. Donc en fait, on rend service à la personne parce qu'on lui évite une prochaine vie très misérable. Et ça, il faut d'abord croire en ce qu'il y a une vie après la mort, etc. etc. Tu vois. Mais les gens, ils font non, il faut être gentil, il avait des problèmes quand il était jeune, tout ça. Mais oui, non. Là, on n'aide pas la personne parce qu'elle va devoir subir les conséquences de ses actes. Ouais. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Aussi, quand Bhishmadev, on voulait qu'il se marie pour générer quelqu'un de capable au trône d'Hastinapur. Il ne savait plus. C'est un des 12 Madhyanas. Hein.
Ouais.
Il ne savait pas quoi faire. Il est allé demander à sa mère, Ganga, Gange personnifié, conseil. Puis il lui a dit tu as fait ton vœu, mais ton vœu, il passe avant le bien-être des gens en général. Donc considère ton vœu comme
Suprême.
tu le considères comme suprême, mais tu ne rends pas service. Elle sous-entendait que tu ne rends pas service à l'humanité. Sous prétexte d'un vœu que tu veux suivre, fidèle
au Dharma,
au Dharma, etc. En fait, tu ne rends pas service à l'humanité. Elle sous-entendait qu'en fait, c'était un mauvais choix. Mais Bhishmadev, il était comme ça, il était trop carré. Donc après, la situation s'est envenimée. On a eu des mauvais rois, mauvaise progéniture. Et finalement, Krishna a décidé d'effacer toute la dynastie. Tout de Shiva. C'est devenu une mauvaise dynastie.
c'est vrai, au nom du Dharma, des fois, le père de Ramachandra, à vouloir suivre le Dharma, il en est mort.
Des fois, les voies du Dharma, c'est difficile à comprendre, mais il faut voir aussi le bénéfice pour la société des gens en général. Quand on promulgue des lois, ou des décrets, ou des choses comme ça.
Alors que Gadadhar Pandit, qui avait fait des vœux, il avait fait des vœux de Kshetra Sannyas, tu sais.
Oui, c'est un vœu personnel.
Il était prêt à rejeter son vœu en disant moi, le but de ma vie c'est toi et tu t'en vas et mon Kshetra Sannyas ça m'est complètement égal, je vais avec toi. Et il n'était pas concerné, tu vois. Mais c'était un Prabhu, il a dit non. Tu as fait ce vœu, il faut que tu restes là, ça serait une mauvaise chose pour la société que tu brises ton vœu. Merci beaucoup. Hare Krishna.
Les vœux avaient beaucoup plus de poids et de conséquences dans les temps védiques que maintenant. Maintenant, les promesses, c'est un nom fort hybride. Pratiquement la patte de la vérité de la vache. Et avant, c'était hyper sacré. Mère Kunti, elle disait vous partagez ce que vous avez collecté entre 5, le Pandava, et c'était l'épouse. Évidemment, pour des dévots comme les Pandavas, ça pose pas un problème que tu casses la promesse ou que tu la casses pas de toute façon. Mais pour le commun des hommes, évidemment, ça a entraîné que Draupadi a été critiqué et humilié de nombreuses fois. Par Karna, la partie 2D,
Ouais.
et d'autres fois aussi.
Parce que
Donc, ça n'a pas rendu service à Draupadi. Évidemment, entre dévots, on est au-dessus de ces règles-là, mais pour la populace en général, il faut voir les conséquences.
faire des vœux, c'est très sérieux, je sais bien.
Ouais.
Srimad Bhagavatam, don't allow. Huh?